So, as we said before, we're going to be going over the Hitokiri now. First off, before we actually get into this, I'm just going to make this clear now so that some of you don't get upset down the video. I'm going to say monk. I know you're supposed to say monk, but I'm going to say monk throughout the video. So if that bothers you, GG I suppose. The Hitokiri, also just another little patch up to clear some confusion from last video as well. The Hitokiri means manslayer, and of course they were executioners, but me saying that they were just four, I might have spread a bit of confusion there. There were four really famous ones, but there were actually several Hitokiri in action in Japan in its history. First off, we have Kawakami Genzai. Now he was a skilled swordsman and very good with a naginata as well. And although he may have killed several people, only one of his most famous kills was actually confirmed and recorded. And that was probably because it was on a fairly good scholar, Sakura Shozan. Now he did this kill in broad daylight with another Hitokiri at his side. Allegedly, Kawakami told his allies that it was the first time he actually felt the killing of someone, and that the person he killed was the greatest man of all time, which, to be fair, this is the man that created the telegraph in Japan, so not the first man to ever do it, because he had the help of some readings that he got or discovered from other parts of the world. But you know, this guy was bringing technology to Japan, so pretty inspirational guy, I suppose. And Gensai stabbed him about 12, 13 times allegedly, but ultimately did strike a killing blow, pulling him off his horse, kind of Assassin's Creed style. But yes, executing him for sure. Ironically enough though, Kawakami himself dies via beheading at his own execution, after he was imprisoned for hiding some soldiers during a conflict he was involved in. The next famous Hitokiri we're going to talk about is Okada Izo, and he was another Hitokiri that was active during the Bakumatsu period. Both these men were active during this Bakumatsu period, which was around 1833 to 1867. Now he was one assassin in Kyoto who operated under Takachi Hanpaita's leadership, and Takachi himself became active with his party after the Perry expedition to Japan by the US that wanted to make sort of diplomatic relationships with the country and also break its isolationist silliness. So Takachi's party resisted the new developments that were happening in Japan and adopted a philosophy of sonojoi, which essentially meant long live the emperor and remove the barbarians. I'm paraphrasing, but that's more or less it. And Okada was one of the many Hitokiri who operated under his party. Like Gensai, he was killed via beheading at his execution, so another pretty ironic end when you think about it, considering that these guys were more or less executioners, or assassins. There's a difference between those two, but yeah. Depends on your perspective, I suppose. Now, the Masakari axe used by the Hitokiri, as we said in previous videos, next off we have the boldness in the appearances that we first saw, and as that's what we first saw, that seems to be the main appearance for the Hitokiri. That's just the one we're going to talk about mainly, but boldness is a trait of monks which, of course, as I spoke about before, symbolizes their lack of vanity, or rather their disassociation with pride. It also helps with attachment issues, which, general attachment issues to things like pride or, beyond that to other things. Helps with celibacy by making oneself less sexually appealing, and even has hygienic benefits from shaving one's head as well. So there's a bunch of reasons why they do it. But not only that, to actually become a monk in Buddhism, you need to shave your head. It's just a requirement, sort of like a rite of passing or something like that. So it's necessary. So next off, we have the Daruma doll, and whilst they might make decent souvenirs, the Daruma dolls are modeled after the Bodhidharma, the founder of Zen and Buddhism. Now on stream, they confirmed that the dolls and icons hanging from the sort of let's call it a belt. I know it's not a belt, but, the belt of the Hitokiri is actually Daruma dolls. The waist, I guess, of the Hitokiri. They actually confirmed that the little icons or dolls or heads hanging from the waist of the Hitokiri are actually Daruma dolls, which were modeled after the Bodhidharma, the founder of Zen Buddhism, who lived about hundreds and hundreds of years ago. So whilst meditating in a cave, he sat eyes facing a wall for 9 years with just one break. And he was just so mad and disgusted at himself for failing to stare at this wall for 9 years completely without pause, that he cut off his eyelids so that he would never sleep or close his eyes again. And when his eyelids hit the floor, they became the first tea leaves, or they sprouted a tree that would spawn the first tea leaves. Our guy himself actually lost his arms and legs during this process, or, in some stories they actually fall off, which is a bit dramatic, but either way, he can't use his legs and arms after he completes this meditation, because he was doing it for so long, which is why the Dharma doll has none of those features at all. Supposedly, by the end of this process, he achieved enlightenment, or the whole reason why he was doing it was to achieve enlightenment. Now, the dolls were originally made so that if they were tilted or knocked over, they would always return to an upright position, which was supposed to signify perseverance, but also luck, a reminder to always get up after getting knocked down or defeated. Now, of course, if you know the story behind the Dharma dolls that the Hitokiri are wearing, it's a bit less a sign of perseverance and a bit more a vessel that they use to capture the souls of their defeated victims, I suppose. There is a lot of talk of souls from the Hitokiri, so they're most likely not a Buddhist. However, they're still wearing Buddhist clothes and have prayers and follow some of the practices of Buddhists. So I'm not 100% sure what the connection is there, why exactly they do that, but they're a bit shrouded in mystery and they're ghostly figures, to quote the devs themselves. So I'm sure they have reasons for flipping a switch in themselves and going off and executing people. So what exactly the connection is there, I'm not too sure. But it is what it is, and there you go. Also, the Dharma dolls don't have pupils, and it's said that the deity inside the doll, should they actually help someone, that in return that someone is supposed to restore their eyesight, or promise or endeavor to restore their eyesight. That's just part of the myth. So I suppose that's also part of the perversion of the myth, because instead of having a god trapped there, it's literally the souls of the deceased here. At least that's what the Hitokiri believe, or the Sakura believes at least. And last off here we have the Kabuki Maku painting, like the face paint on their face. So legend has it that the face paint allowed someone to make use of a demon-quelling glare, which enhanced the eyes, and essentially allowed them to scare off evil spirits with nothing more than a glare. I suppose you could say it's fairly fitting for the Hitokiri, considering the fact that they're going after those they believe to be immoral or criminals and just executing them without much of a trial or a jury, just literally being judge, jury, executioner with axe in hand. So yeah, that's more or less the character of the Hitokiri. Tell me what you think. Did you enjoy the video? Learn something new? Tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. But until the next video, have a very good day. I've been Brian, and I'll see you guys in the next one.